Expelled. No intelligence allowed. Wow. I'm going to have to say that's a lot of time of having confusion on YouTube or so with certain people like, watching Ken Hovind and seeing a lot of people blast him. And then I watched this documentary and I was like, yep. Because everything he said was what Ken Hovind or Ken Ham said a long time ago. They are not the only people who say what they say. Even secular articles are saying the same thing. It's all true. I have to say that even after watching this Ken Hovind stuff and you guys traced it as basket waste, but then it's going to take a whole documentary for all you people to get the same message all over again. Darwin! I mean, man, I'm going to have to say that while watching this, it was intriguingly eye-opening. There were many cases where I was like, that's what Ken Hovind said a long time ago. He was not lying, whatever. You folks are just lying yourself if you try to say that, Ken Hovind was lying or whatever. He intends to be meticulous in his work, but I'm going to have to say that a lot of you folks don't. I'm going to have to say that this shows exactly the opposite of what you folks always think. You're trying to say, oh, reality's awesome. And oh, we're for free speech. If you watch this, you can find the total opposite to be true. Everything in reality is totally and continuously contradicting your cheap wishful thinking. I wish I could meet Ben Stein up front and actually shake his hand and really thank him for making this documentary, because it's just intriguingly amazing and eye-opening, and I recommend it for a lot of science classes to watch or so. And here's a picture I found of Ben Stein meeting with Ken Ham. And did he get to know the gospel of Christ? Did he accept Christ as his Savior? I don't know. But at least he got to meet a very famous person who I also met. I'm sure he gave him a lot of answers and explaining a lot of logical stuff to him. I mean, that would have been something great to watch on YouTube or whatever. I mean, if anyone ever comes across footage, if there was ever a camera in that area, but just a camera, like a video camera, but if it was just cameras taking pictures, oh well, I wish I could have watched their conversation or so. I'm going to have to say, those who are supporting intelligent design, Darwinism is a carefully protected state religion which is in clear violation of the First Amendment. And they even bring up the thing Inherit the Wind, which is something like a movie based on bogus history of the Scopes chart, which tries to make creationists look like the bad guy and the evolutionists look like the good guy or whatever. Just utter biasness and utter lying set up by the ACLU, which is nothing but the anti-Christian lying union, or the American Communist Lawyers Union, whatever you want to call it. So this documentary was actually great. I watched it with my whole family, and we were just blown away. I'm going to have to say, the first time I heard about, I think I already talked about this, I first saw Richard Dawkins' face in this documentary, okay? And the fact that Ben Stein is Jewish makes it a whole lot better. I mean, he worked his butt off to put this documentary together. It's just incredibly eye-opening, and it actually makes you think. Anyone who rates this video down, I'm going to have to say they're really having shallow thinking. And they're really having flawed, erroneous classification or judging. They try to think Inherit the Wind, which was a big lie and boring, is great or whatever. How much they rate it up or whatever. But they don't think this is great. They think this is boring or lying. This, I'm gonna have to say, is one of the most amazing documentaries that has ever been made about intelligent design, the lies of evolutionism, and the utter fallacy that Darwin played. Darwin was not a scientist in any scientific sense. He was the greatest speculator and assumptor of all time. That's what I tried to get across last time, Eddie Goodbye. I just misspoke there. I said Darwinism was not a scientist in any sense. No, Darwin was not a scientist in any sense. The only thing he ever got was a theology degree. He was known for making up stories during his childhood. Okay, so these people are being meticulous in their work. You're not. Okay, so that's all I have to say, all right? It's going to take a whole documentary to explain the same stuff to you people all over again. And especially the debate that Richard Dawkins and Ben Stein had, they were both given equal airtime. And I don't understand, that video on YouTube saying, Richard Dawkins replies to Ben Stein, no, he was just being rude. He was just doing his comparing apples and oranges game again. It was, we believe in the stork theory. There's no evidence for the stork theory. Why would they want to believe in that, but not believe that where we actually come from is basically Adam and Eve through Noah, or whatever. So, That's all I have to say. This documentary is actually amazing, and I pray that YouTube will continue to carry on this video for many generations to watch this documentary and discover the utter fallacies and deceptions and propaganda of evolutionism.